So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Shannon Sharpe had to say. I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Shannon Sharpe had to say here about Kyrie Irving.
I agree with you guys, but I think there has to be a level of growth and maturity on Kyrie's part. Let's not forget, he wanted out of Cleveland after they won the championship, went back to the finals, and lost in 5 games. He wanted out. He was on this talented team. Remember now, when he went to Boston, they had JT and they had JB Perk. They were there. They were young. So imagine Kyrie this mature, this level of Kyrie with that team. They should have probably had 2 or 3 championships by now anyway. He goes to Brooklyn. Whatever happened to Brooklyn, we know about the vaccine. We know about the tweet, the book, and whatever case may be. But I think what Kyrie is doing in Dallas is what LeBron tried to do for him. And, you know, sometimes when you're young and your mom and dad trying to tell you something, you don't want to hear it. It takes somebody else. You know this firsthand. You coach your son. Your son listen to other coaches more than he listen to you. And you right there in his house, and you trying to tell him you played in the NBA. And those guys probably didn't go past YMCA. But it's different coming from someone else. Kyrie had to mature. Kyrie had to grow up. And I think everything you said, guys, are absolutely correct. He's somewhere where he's embraced. He feels he's being respected because for whatever reason, he didn't want to play alongside LeBron James any longer. For whatever reason, he didn't want to be in Boston any longer. For whatever reason, he didn't want to be in Brooklyn. If you watch Kyrie, there's something said about finding a wife, having kids that mature some men. And I believe that's where Kyrie is in his life now. He didn't have those things in Cleveland. He didn't have those things in Boston. He was getting those things, I believe, at the end in Brooklyn. But whatever happened, Kyrie, he has changed the narrative because people were saying, how could you break up LeBron James, this young team with LeBron James? You're going to go back to the finals. Whatever happened. What happened? How could you not stay with JT and JB? If I'm not mistaken, I think Al Horford was on that team also. So it was a situation where Kyrie has changed the narrative through his behavior, through his play, through his maturation process, and it's something to be commended.
So you heard what Shannon Sharpe had to say. Look, I want to go directly to the point. I didn't like what Shannon was saying because in this moment, you're trying to steal the shine away from Kyrie to talk about LeBron James. How is it that you find a way to inject LeBron into this conversation? That's number one. Number two, let's get back to the comments. The thing of, you know, it's like when you're trying to talk to a son and all of that didn't sit well with me for a few reasons. Number one, Kyrie was LeBron's teammate. He was not his son. He was his teammate. And if Kyrie Irving deemed it that he did not want to play with LeBron, he didn't have to. But what happened was the minute he decided to move on from playing with LeBron, the Nick Wrights, the Shannon Sharpes, and all of these people started going against Kyrie Irving because he left LeBron James. And one of the major talking points about Kyrie has been, what has he done since LeBron James? We did a live about when the Mavs won Game 3, and I was saying one of the storylines here, it reminds me of Shaq and Kobe. Because remember when Shaq and Kobe won those rings, it was like, oh, Shaq carry Kobe, Shaq carry Kobe. And Kobe was so desperate to prove that I didn't need Shaq, that I can go out there and win championships. And Kyrie Irving is now in a situation where he most likely will go back to the NBA Finals without LeBron. So these people don't get to hang it around his head and say, oh, only LeBron James was able to extract the most success of the most, production out of him. Another thing they said was, when they were talking about Kyrie possibly going to the Lakers, only LeBron James can manage Kyrie Irving's personality. Like as if LeBron is bringing his son to the team. Which didn't sit well with me then. It's the reason why when you heard Kyrie Irving go on ESPN First Take when Max Kellerman was there, where he was like, so why didn't you feel the need to tell LeBron? And he said to Max Kellerman, he's like, oh, no, not the Max Kellerman. One of the reporters, he was like, it's been like a father figure to him. He's like, a father figure? He's like, I have a father. What the F are you talking about? LeBron has been a father figure to me. I have a father. So why would he need to be a father figure to me? And people like Shannon Sharpe are the ones that are most bitter about this. They're not happy for Kyrie because they were the same ones saying that Kyrie would have been nothing without LeBron James. How dare you leave LeBron James? Who are you to leave LeBron James? That's what they were saying. That they left that he left their king behind. But in a moment like this, we're talking about Kyrie. We're talking about him going through a public image transformation, whatever the hell you want to call it. And now you find a moment to talk about, this reminds me when he was him. But it don't remind me of nothing about LeBron. We weren't even thinking about it. Allow the guy to have his moment. You don't have to make it about LeBron James. My Lord.